Byline TV's Marina Purkiss, the leftist commentator who also appears on Jeremy Vine's show, decided to go on GB News. The same Marina Purkiss who's been saying that she will never, ever go on GB News. Well, she did appear on Jacob Rees-Mogg's show. Why? Well, I guess she just wanted some attention. So in this video, we're going to show you this massive meltdown, the hysterical behavior that she had against Jacob Rees-Mogg. Jacob completely destroyed her arguments by remaining calm and measured. At the same time, she just spent the whole time calling him a liar and all the other names. Let's watch this together.
Freedom of speech and protect it.
Your freedom of speech, all you do is you use your platform. And I can't believe you do this. Like, you were born into a life of privilege, Jacob. No. And you decided to be a con man to lie to people who trust
I use my platform so that people like you have freedom of speech too, because I think it's really important.
I don't need you to defend my freedom of speech.
Make your
I
case.
need you to be in a position of
government. But the left don't like this, do they?
That's why. That's
why people are trying to stop this lady going to the Oxford Union.
I just realised it was a decent person, not some massive lefty.
That's the problem with the political left. So they basically say, well, what do you mean I'm a lefty? I'm just a decent person. And if you're not a lefty, you're not a decent person. This is such a dangerous 1930s Italy sort of behaviour.
I just realised what you lot are doing in government is disgusting.
It's not in government.
You lie, and you've got no contrition for what you've done to people. Your Brexit, do you care?
Well, people voted for Brexit. That's democracy.
Of course they did. I'm surprised I didn't vote for Brexit.
You think you know better than the British people?
I think you lied to people and they believed you.
I think the British people are more intelligent than that. The British people weighed up Brexit.
Are you telling me they should have known you were a liar?
What? I wasn't a liar.
So when you said to them,
all you're doing is mere abuse. You're not making any arguments.
Tell me how I'm wrong. Okay, tell me I'm wrong. Let me ask you a question. When you said to people that Brexit was going to bring cheaper food,
it will.
Clothes, footwear and drink. So it will.
All this is in progress. Joining the CTPPP, the free trade deal with Australia, the free trade deal with New Zealand, all of these are bringing in lower tariffs on food coming into this country.
This is
already in the pipeline.
What do you think's going to happen at the end of this year when those full Brexit checks are going to come into play? Do you remember the ones this time last year you said were an act of self-harm?
Yes, I stopped them. That's right.
They're coming in this year.
Well, there is no reason.
What's going to happen then?
There is no reason to bring those in. Those should be stopped again.
Absolutely spot on. There's absolutely no need. He's not in government right now. Firstly, why is she interviewing him? He's supposed to be interviewing her.
That is with it.
That's the Brexit.
The government can stop that. No, not at all. That is. If the government wishes to put those controls on, that is an act of a democratic government. Do I think they're foolish? Yes, of course I do. That's why I tried to stop them, succeeded in stopping them last year. I'm not in government, I'm a member of the Conservative Party.
That is the Brexit.
But why is it that food inflation is higher in the EU average than it is in the UK? We're doing better than the EU.
Why didn't you compare us? Because I saw the other day you compared us to Austria for inflation. Great comparison there, Jacob.
I love how these Ramonas, when you bring up other European members as an example, they're basically insult. They are xenophobic against the other European countries. That they only love France and Germany and Sweden. And say, well, Austria, it's not even a real country.
A comparison.
Oh, wonderful. Why on earth...
Our food inflation is lower than Germany.
Why would you compare us to Austria, who have the highest inflation, one of the highest inflations in the world, and also their GDP is in the billions, ours is in the trillions. Why then would you...
Our food inflation is lower than Germany. So actually, I'm happy to take a variety of comparisons. Why Austria? Austria is renowned for its economic caution. There's a whole school of Austrian economists who are famous for economic caution.
Why don't you compare us to other comparable countries in the G7? Tell your viewers why our food costs are soaring and why they're going to continue to soar.
Our food costs are rising by less than the average for the EU and less than by Germany. So that's not too bad, is it?
No, it's going up. Why are our energy bills the highest on the planet?
Well, when I was in government, we made the biggest intervention to help people with their energy bills.
No, that's not what I'm asking. Why are they the highest on the planet?
The energy bills in the UK have gone up because of our green policies.
OK.
That has led to a very significant increase.
Nothing to do with Conservative failures year after year after year.
It's nothing to do with Brexit.
No, I'm not blaming Brexit for that, actually.
No, absolutely nothing to do with Brexit.
She keeps changing the debate and the goalposts. One minute she's talking about Brexit, then she's talking about Tory government, then she's talking about the country. Nothing to do with Brexit. It's the government's failure because of the green crap policies.
But no,
what was I trying to do? I was trying to reduce prices by fracking, by shale gas.
Fracking. Oh, here we go again. Here we go
Using our resources.
Fracking. Do you want to tell people how long it would take to get any sort of benefit from fracking and how
She's so hysterical. I love it.
tiny that benefit would be, and the fact that it would do absolutely nothing.
We're potentially sitting on trillions of cubic feet of gas underneath us. I'm not. There are very good geological studies showing this.
Do you genuinely believe your lies?
All you say when you disagree is that somebody is lying. But this isn't a proper political argument.
You've been proven time and time again. And you never say, do you know what? I'm really sorry. I told you that everything was going to be better and cheaper, and it's not.
You disagree with me. Yeah. But that's not the same as somebody lying. Disagreement is perfectly reasonable.
If you promise something, and it doesn't materialise, that's a lie.
What I promised about tariffs on food is true. They are being reduced with the free trade agreements that we've been negotiating.
Should we revisit that
really
at the end of this year when your act of self-harm comes into play?
Well, that would be madness if the government does that, and I shall oppose that very strongly.
OK, let's go. Why don't we?
Why would the government?
Let's go back to woke, right? Because we want to talk about woke culture wars.
No, we don't want to talk about culture. But why are they always obsessed with the woke culture nonsense? OK, so she lost the whole argument. She kept calling him a liar. She didn't have anything to back up. Every time he gave her a proper answer and won the argument, she just moved the goalpost, saying, OK, the Brexit argument didn't work. Let's talk about the government. That didn't work. Let's talk about Jacob Rees-Mogg being a liar. That didn't work. Let's talk about the British public being stupid. That didn't work. She just keeps having a completely hysteria as a moment. And I'm also extremely impressed how Jacob Rees-Mogg managed to handle himself in this interview. He was extremely calm and measured. He didn't lose his temper, and he actually stayed robust on his lines and positions. But the problem I have is that the issue is obviously Jacob Rees-Mogg is not a journalist. He's not a professional broadcaster in that sense, because he lost control of the actual program. She ended up interviewing him. She was holding him to account for some reason, even though he's not in government. But otherwise, he won the argument, and every single argument, because she didn't know what she was talking about. She was being hysterical and just calling him names and saying you're a liar and the British public are stupid. And also, she said you're privileged. Kettle, privilege. Have you seen your own background, Marina Purkiss, and your own privileged life right now as Byline TV's presenter and Jeremy Vine's show's commentator and best friend and all that nonsense. So this was it. My reaction to what happened last night on GB News. I'm Mahyar, Tousi, and we are the media.